Hello and welcome to Any Building Grows Showtime series. Today, we'll be taking you on a guided tour of the series which aims to build students' reading fluency and critical thinking skills through classic stories, fairy tales, and myths. Showtime is a reader's theater series for kindergarten to high beginner students. These dramatic tales encourage students to exercise their creativity and imagination, making their learning more immersive and meaningful. As part of our program, students are provided with a student book complete with an interactive multi-ROM and a workbook. Additionally, teachers can access a wide range of teaching materials from Any Building Grow's website, www.anybuildinggrow.com. And students can easily access each story's MP3 files by scanning the QR codes. Now, let's take a look at the features of the Showtime series. Reader's Theater offers a fun and entertaining approach to developing reading confidence in children. The series incorporates acting and performing through reading scripts that have been adapted from classic, well-known stories. The stories are easy to follow, and after reading the script only a few times, students should be able to improve their reading fluency skills. Moreover, the series also encourages students to read out loud with expression, giving them a better understanding of the power of both the written and spoken word. And while students are acting, singing, and dancing during their performances, their English skills are acquired naturally. Each book in the Showtime series provides age and level-appropriate stories and songs. These include classic stories, fairy tales, and nursery rhymes for levels 1 and 2, and Greek myths with song elements for level 3. In addition, special volumes for Halloween and Christmas are also included. As part of our Showtime series, each story has 2 possible endings for students to choose from. Having 2 different endings provides creative opportunities for class discussion and decision-making. It also encourages students to come up with their own endings, stimulating their creativity. Do you think the farmer will help the cat? Why or why not? The Showtime series also comes equipped with interactive multimedia content. The multi-ROM includes an ebook with the role-play function, songs and dances, play materials, and audio tracks. Students can practice their lines with the multi-ROM role-play function in class or at home. The lines of the character they choose appear in red as they read through the story to let them know when it's their turn to read.
Sniff, sniff! I smell food!
Also included in the multi-ROM are song and dance routines for students to follow along with and practice.
Hooray, hooray, what a handsome prince! What a beautiful castle! Lord Carabas is a lucky man!
Teachers and students can download background images, sheet music, and theatrical masks to use when performing the play. Catchy songs and expressive, energetic voice acting recorded in Broadway, New York, gives students a more vivid sensory experience while reading the story. A set of finger puppets is also included to give students a fun way to act out the story and become involved with the characters. Once they have completed the story, students can review what they learned with a fun board game. Now, let's take a look at a story from the Showtime series. At the start of every Showtime story, students are introduced to the characters and places that make up the basic elements of the story. A number of sing-along songs are also found throughout the story. And, as already mentioned, each story contains 2 possible endings for students to choose from. In the workbook, students predict what might happen in the story and start thinking about related topics in the cover talk section. Students can also familiarize themselves with the characters and setting before reading. While reading, students can review important words that they encounter and check their understanding of the story so far. Students can also practice useful language from the story in the real life section and personalize their learning with a fun activity. After completing the story, students review the characteristics and actions of two main characters and summarize the main events. They then complete a report about their opinions on the story. Now, let's go over some tips for getting the most out of the Showtime series. You can analyze each of the characters with your students with a fun and easy roll-on-the-wall activity. First, draw a picture of the characters on a large sheet of paper or on the whiteboard. Then, split the students up into groups and assign each group a character. Have each group complete the fact sheet for their character on a sticky note. Ask the students to come up to the board and stick their notes while answering the questions in complete sentences. Another variation is the sticker time activity, which gives students a chance to describe scenes from the story in as much detail as possible. To start, have each student write sentences on a sticky note. Then, have students come up and read their notes while sticking them to the picture. Later, you may ask additional questions or review important details that the students missed. Another fun activity is to have students mimic the characters' voices while looking at pictures from the story. This will help students make a connection between the characters' lines and their personalities and motives, resulting in a deeper, richer learning experience. Finally, here are some tips for managing a big class. Tip number 1. Divide the class into 2 teams according to the endings. Tip number 2. Create additional minor characters to give students more roles to play. Tip number 3. Assign the roles according to the scene rather than assigning one character to each student. Finally, let's take a look at resources for teachers. Teachers can download all available teaching materials, including a director's guide, a performance video guide, a vocabulary PPT, and more from the Build and Grow website. Thanks for watching, and best of luck in your Showtime classes. Goodbye!